When you have an analysis of the financial statements only, we will be able to understand what is the actual financial performance of the company. What is the reason for the volatility of the stocks and shares? So all this will be the area of research in financial econometrics. With the help of this behavioral finance, they will be able to forecast how the finance will behave in the future years. Hello, my dear students. I welcome you all to this session. I am Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. In this session 4 on business research methods, we will be having a continuation of the previous session, that is, applications of business research. So let us see what the session holds for us. Now, in applications of business research, we have financial and accounting research. So we all know that finance and accounting are an important part of the business. So what does this financial and accounting research deal with? So the area of financial and accounting research is so vast that it is difficult to provide a pen sketch of the research areas. So we can understand that the financial and accounting research, it is a very vast area, but then we have just enumerated a few of the areas here. So in this financial and accounting research, we can see that first one is, some of the research areas are asset pricing, corporate finance and capital markets. So the focus here is on the stock market response to corporate actions. Now in this area of research related to asset pricing, corporate finance and capital markets, the focus of the research will be on the stock market. So how the actions of the organization will have an impact on the stock market. So that is what they will be conducting a research on in this financial and accounting areas. So the focus here on the stock market response to corporate actions. Now what can be the corporate actions? That is the IPO, or the initial public offering, or when there is a new company which is being started and when it goes for the public offer, that is when it is offering shares or selling shares for the first time to the public, we call it as the IPO, or the initial public offer. Then takeovers and mergers. So whenever when one company takes over another company or one company merges with another company, these are the corporate actions on which will have an impact on the stock market. So there will be a study based on all these actions of the corporate sector. Then financial reporting, that is earnings and firm specific announcements. Now what is this financial reporting? Financial reporting refers to, you give the balance sheet of the company at the end of the year, the financial statements, whether it is a profit and loss account and the balance sheet, whatever the progress, the performance of the company, so that will be published by the company. So the impact of all this on the stock exchange will be studied here, and the impact of factors on returns, that is liquidity and volume. So the research will be also conducted on the impact of factors on returns. So that is, what are the various things? Suppose the company declares a dividend to its shareholders. Then once a dividend is declared to the shareholders, immediately the prices of the shares will rise. So what is the impact? How it will impact the value of the shares? This will be a study of the research here. And then liquidity and volume. So how liquid the company's shares are. So what do we mean by liquidity? Liquidity means how fast the company's shares can be converted into cash. So the liquidity and volume of shares, all this becomes the subject of study of research in this financial and accounting research. Then next is financial derivatives and interest rate and credit risk modeling. So what are these financial derivatives? We have all heard of the options and trades, etc. So all these come under this financial derivatives. So this is an important area of study here. It includes analyzing interest rate derivatives, development and validation of corporate credit rating models, associated derivatives, analyzing corporate decision making, and investment risk appraisal. So in this area of research, they will be analyzing the interest rate derivatives. So whatever the interest rates which are offered by the different financial companies to the corporate sectors, so there will be a study based on that, and also they will be analyzing the corporate decision making and the investment risk appraisal. So what are the investments the company has and what are the risks it has to face based on those investments. So all this, there will be a study based on all this. Then market based accounting research. Now this includes analysis of corporate financial reporting behavior. So under the market based accounting research, there will be a study carried on for corporate financial reporting behavior. So what is the corporate sector doing, and when the corporate sector gives its financial report, then what will be the behavior of the stock traders. So have a research on that. Accounting based valuations. So what are the accounting based valuations? Evaluation and usage of accounting information by investors and evaluation of management compensation schemes. So what are the usage of accounting information by the investors? So when you just give the financial statements of the company to the public will not be able to just read it actually. So we need to have a ratio analysis of all the figures here. So when you conduct a ratio analysis, we can correlate the investment with the returns, the capital with the fixed assets, the amount of investment, amount of returns, etc. So when you have an analysis of the financial statements only, we will be able to understand what is the actual financial performance of the company. And then evaluation of management compensation schemes. So what are the various schemes of management which are there for the employees they have given, and we have to evaluate them. So what is the effect of the compensation, whether the compensation is adequate or not, whether the people are in need of more compensation. So a lot of research is going on based on these areas. Then next we have the auditing and accountability. This includes both private and public sector accounting studies. So in this there will be a study of both private and public sector accounting studies, analysis of audit regulations. So whenever an audit is being carried out, it should be as per the rules and regulations set down by the Chartered Accountancy Firm of India. So whether it is as per the regulations, analysis of different methodologies, governance, accountability of audit committees. So we have a study of the different audit methodologies, the various methods of conducting audit, whether it is the internal audit, external audit, then there is the continuous audit. So various audit methods are there. So there is a research going on based on all these methods of audit. Then governance and accountability of audit committees. What is the governance of the audit committee, and accountability, how accountable they are. So all these are the areas of research. Next we have the financial econometrics. It includes modeling and forecasting in volatility, risk estimation and analysis. So in this financial econometrics, so it will be including modeling and forecasting in volatility. What is this forecasting in volatility? So how volatile the stocks and shares are. So what is the reason for the volatility of the stocks and shares? So all this will be the area of research in financial econometrics. Then next we have other areas. So what are the other areas of research? So other areas of investigation are in merchant banking, insurance sector, business policy and economic areas. Now what is this merchant banking? So we all know that merchant bankers are appointed whenever there is an IPO or the initial public offer. So there is lot of research relating to that. And then we have the insurance sector and the business policy and the economic areas. So research is going on based on these areas. In addition, considering the nature of the decision required required in this area, the research is a mix of historical and empirical research. Now, what do we mean by historical research? Historical research is nothing but it is an analysis of the data which is already presented to the public, and empirical research means you are trying to conduct the studies based on certain experiments. Then behavioral finance is a new and contemporary area in which probably for the first time subjective and perceptual variables are being studied for their predictive value in determining consumer sentiments. Now, behavioral finance is a new and a contemporary area. Now, what is this behavioral finance? Finance, we know. Finance is nothing but money, or the money needed for any business. Now, what is this behavioral finance? So, this is one new area where they will be conducting a subjective and perceptual variables are being studied for the predictive value. So, with the help of this behavioral finance, they will be able to forecast how the finance will behave in the future years. Next application of business research is production and operation management. So, this area of management is one in which quantifiable implementation of the research result takes on huge cost and process implications. Now, we all know that the production sector consumes maximum amount of money, because a lot of the money will be going into the raw materials. It will be lot of money will be spent for the expenditure and also for the various other incidental expenses related to production, and it will always take 75% of the cost of the product will be consumed by the production itself. So, the research in this area is highly focused and problem specific. So, whenever research has to be conducted, so production research and operation research, they become very, very important, because it will lead to the reduction in the cost of the product. Operation planning, which includes product or service design and development, resource allocation, and capacity planning. So, in this production and operation management research, there will be research relating to the product or the service design. So, whatever is the product which is being offered, lot of research will be there going on relating to the product, the service also, and development of the product also. Then resource allocation. So, what is the kind of resource needed? And capacity planning. So, what is the capacity of that particular plant? What is the capacity one? What capacity it can produce the goods? So, that will be the capacity planning. Demand forecasting and decision analysis. Now, in this we will be able to just see how we can forecast the demand for the product and decision analysis. Now, next in the applications of business research, we have production and operation management. Now, in this process planning, which includes production scheduling and material requirement management, work design planning and monitoring. So, in this production and operation management, research will be carried out, which includes production scheduling. So, how do you schedule the production of the product? Then material requirement management, that is, what is the kind of material required and how do you manage the raw materials? Then work design planning and monitoring. So, how do you design the work and how do you monitor the work? So, all this will be the areas of research. Next, we have the project management and maintenance management studies. So, what is the project management? How do they manage each of the project? And also the management studies will be carried out. Then logistics and supply chain and inventory management analysis. Now, what is this logistic and supply chain? So, logistics means how do you plan for the transportation of the products, whether it is raw materials or whether it is a finished product. What is the logistic plan you have? So, that will be the logistic and supply chain and inventory management analysis. So, in this inventory management analysis, there will be a study of the inventory management. So, what are the various kinds of inventory we have and how do you manage the inventory? Next, quality estimation and assurance studies, which include TQM, that is total quality management, and quality certification analysis. Now, nowadays we all know that customers are very conscious about the quality of the product, and it is essential for every company to have a QC, that is a quality controller. So, the quality estimation and assurance studies, so which includes total quality management. So, with the help of the total quality management, they will be able to have a control over the quality of the product, and also quality certification analysis. Now, how do you certify the quality of the product? So, there are various studies going on in this area also. Then, this area of management also invites academic research, which might be macro and general, but helps in developing technologies. So, they are also inviting the academicians to just come and do research in certain areas. So, what are those areas here? This is the JIT, that is the just in time. What is this just in time technology? So, you don't order the raw materials as and when it is over. So, you just don't maintain a stock of the raw materials. So, whenever the stock is just about to be over, you just order for the stock. So, it should be there just in time. So, that why do we just have this kind of a just in time inventory management? Because it will help us in making use of the funds more wisely. So, if you are buying a huge stock and maintaining it in the godown, that means that you are locking up a lot of funds for the stock. So, you need not lock up lot of funds. So, whenever you need the just stock of raw materials, you just order them and get it on time. That is the just in time technology. And also we have the EOQ, that is the economic order quantity. What is the quantity of material which has to be ordered, which is more economic and which carries a very low carrying cost? That is, you need not lock up the funds for a very long time, and whatever the raw materials which goes into the production phase, it comes out fast and it gets converted into cash. Then an inventory management model, which are then adapted by organizations for optimizing the operations. So, right now we have the just in time and the EOQ models, and research is going on to see what are the various ways in which we can optimize the operations of the company. The next we have the cross-functional research. So, business management, being an integrated amalgamation of all these and other areas, sometimes requires a unified thought and approach to research. So, business management requires, it encompasses lot of areas, whether it is purchases, sales, HR, account, finance, marketing, etc. So, lot of areas are comprised in business, and it requires unified thought and approaches to research. So, these studies require an open orientation where experts from across the disciplines contribute to and gain from the study. So, whatever the area of research, so the people who are experts in those areas, so they will be contributing for the study in those areas. For example, an area such as a new product development requires the commitment of marketing, production and consumer insights team to exploit new opportunities. Suppose the company wants to develop a new product, then who are the players here? So, we need the commitment of the marketing team, we need the commitment of the production team, and also the consumer insights team. What is the consumer insights team? Team which has been doing the consumer survey. So, survey related to what? Survey related to the changing tastes and preferences of the customers. So, based on the customer's tastes and preferences, if we can develop a new product, then we can rest assured that the business will be a success. Then, next, other areas requiring cross-functional efforts are corporate governance and ethics. So, cross-functional research, we have this research based on corporate governance. So, how the governance of the corporate sector is done, and then ethics. So, what are the various ethics which are to be followed? What are the social ethics which are to be followed? And What are the areas in which the corporate is actively following the social ethics? Then the role of social values and ethics and their integration into a company's working is an area of critical significance to any organization. So we all know that the corporate sector has a lot of social responsibilities, and these social responsibilities are nowadays we have the term called as CSR. Now, what is the CSR? That is the corporate social responsibility. So, the corporate social responsibility means the company has to give back to the society what it has gained from the society. So, the company will get anything it wants from the society. The society provides everything, whether it is men, money, machines, or materials, whatever it will be provided by the society, and as such the business will be flourishing because of the support of the society. Now it is the duty of the corporate sector to give back something to the society. So they have to work for social ethics, or there are certain social responsibilities which are to be followed by the corporate sector in order to have an improved image in the minds of the public. So there is a lot of research which is going on related to this area also. So next we have the technical support system, enterprise resource planning systems, knowledge management, data mining, warehousing are integrated areas requiring research on managing coordinated effort across divisions. So in addition, in cross-functional research, we have research related to enterprise resource planning systems. There is also research related to the knowledge management, data mining, warehousing, integrated areas requiring research, etc. So, a lot of research is being carried out in these areas. And then we also have the ecological and environmental analysis. So, in this, we will be studying the impact of the business activities on the ecology, on the environment, legal analysis of managerial action. So, what are the legal studies relating to managerial actions? Human rights and discrimination studies. So, there will be research based on this human rights and discrimination studies. So, with this, we come to the end of this session. Hope you have all followed it. Thank you.